back at it.
I'm live.
I can't wait to hear that burp. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that burp was hot.
Is just a prettied up version of gambling. Sports gambling, tech gambling, and anime gambling. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! But for me, I like the original form of blowing your paycheck. Poker. The Among Us for rich people. What I appreciate about poker is it's simple. No overcomplicated UI. A simple cast of characters. No additional DLC adding the letter B, you know what I mean? I want it to become better. But how? I have no one to play with. Well, when it comes to learning a new skill, we have to let go of our pride, be sensitive, and know ourselves. So I booted up my Nintendo DS and locked in New Soup. This game and... Oh yeah, they finally made an HD remake. But these games have a bonus game mode. Here you can defuse nuclear warheads, protect the Mushroom Kingdom from foreign invaders, and... Gamble! Woohoo! Yeah! Woo! Oh yeah! Hit that roulette! Yeah!
Bro,
the
I played this
slots,
shit out of
baby!
all these
And
games.
oddly, a game with Wario in it,
What?
you'd think he'd be the runner of the casino, but the cold
Super
cut
Mario
tempered
Bros.
Luigi. I had a bit of an eyebrow raiser thinking if he could handle the job, but something about his charm and finesse, it really
That
holds
one right
together
there was
the
cool.
establishment. A clean shuffle, a perfectly straight face. Many would question his constitution, but he does his work so everyone can experience a fair game in this casino. I used to play this game a ton as a kid, but constantly I would be bested by Luigi. You know what, but that was then, this is now. I have a full paycheck I can spend in order to learn his ways. In order to get better, I wanted to overcome Luigi's casino and learn his inner workings. And I did.
That man! What's up? Hey, cash back 1.5%.
What an ad break.
Huh? On every day you stop.
Ad break. I ain't there
On
yet.
Wednesday? On Friday who? What?
Cash back like a pro with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
When I found out that Google was doing career certificates and they had one in data analytics, I thought it seems like
And it was worse than I thought. Today, we are going to be breaking down
Basketball.
Luigi's Picture Poker and reveal the truth, a hidden discrepancy, and the chance to unlock infinity. But before we do that, we need to explain what Picture Poker even is. Similar to poker, you have 5 cards that you have to establish a win condition with. The only difference
Too
is you're
bad.
receiving these 5 cards in your hand. The goal is each player has the opportunity to throw away cards and get new ones dealt to them, and at the end, everyone compares to see who has the best hand. It's sort of done to teach people how the hell to play poker in the first place, except in Luigi's version, we have even fewer win conditions. They're listed on the side here. It's not as expansive as poker, and there's definitely more silly objects with eyes. Which actually, it would be better if cards actually had eyes on the suits. Anyways, it's verifiably true that Luigi is worth less than Mario in the lore. Can you think of what that does to someone? But when I say I want to figure out how this game works, what I really mean is, how likely is each hand? Can you achieve 5 of a kind? How does it determine your next card? So I went to work trying to break this casino. Before I did any unnecessary work, though, I wanted to see if this had been done.
Basically, I'm looking to see if the game has been decompiled, which is a fancy way of saying I can read the game's code in a language that's familiar to me. If I can do that, then I can see how it determines RNG and hopefully see how Luigi picks his cards. Unfortunately, I put New Soup decompiled into Google and I did not get the results I was expecting. So this is going to be a little difficult.
It's only so hard because we are unable to see what's in Luigi's hand. If there was some sort of mod where I could view what cards he's being dealt, then this would change everything. But it becomes quite impossible. The only thing I can really do is use deduction here. We can assume since the top hand is 5 of a kind that his deck has 30 cards, 5 of each of these suits. So we know Luigi gets dealt 5 and I get dealt 5. What strategy can we use to edge over him? Basically, we need to determine how RNG works here, or rather, how conventional randomness of shuffling a deck is communicated in this highly sophisticated side mode in a handheld Mario game. Do they actually have a deck with each of these values being shuffled? Does it have a formula that runs every time a card is drawn to ensure that the game is fair? Well, Luigi's a lot more primitive. The only tool at my disposal here is save states, which basically allows me to save where I am in the game, play a little, and then go back to that spot. But I discovered something truly interesting. You really thought you could pull the wool over my eyes, you green son of a bitch.
If I really had a problem, wouldn't you think I would be able to tell?
Just me and the boys. Here I start a fresh match. I'm gonna toss my entire hand out. I don't care what it is. And I'm gonna get 5 new cards. My first 3 cards are Mario, Cloud, Star. But let's say in an alternate universe, we didn't do that. It proves that Luigi should get drawn the same cards that I got. Lo and behold, they're the same cards.
This is actually a dream for us, because we're able to see that he chooses these cards in the same order whether he shuffles or not, meaning we'll always get the same cards. So if we can find out that order, we're one step closer to figuring this guy out. All because he gives us the exact same cards. What?
Did I do something different? Why is it changing between when I do different attempts? Maybe betting more changes something? Maybe it's the card I choose to throw away in the order? Wait. Oh my god. It's so much easier to see. It's so obvious. It's right there. It's been happening the whole time. Right in front of my fallible eyes. You don't see it? It's right. He's staring at us. Toad ass in the background with a martini.
Look at him. You gotta love him. Why don't you love him?
He's always been here. This Toad was the key to completely breaking this game. In my attempts to understand Luigi's fraud, I came up with nothing. I kinda just sat here for a while, watching Toad complete his part-time gig, circling and circling, waiting while I waited, delivering a drink that would never be consumed. I realized, counting the times Toad went from one side of the screen to the next in a full rotation, changed the last card dealt to me, and everything changed from here. If you wait a Toad rotation, which I just started calling a Toadtation in my notes, the last card in the sequence changes, meaning the second card moves to the first card slot, and so on and so forth. This game is completely broken. Do you realize what this means?
Theoretically, it may be possible to beat Luigi every single hand. Moreover, we could actually beat him with 5 of a kind every hand.
If there's a possibility this list repeats, or they're the same list across many different versions of this minigame you open, then we can unlock the truth. The one caveat is, a Toadtation is long. 10 to 12 seconds at least. And even with speeding up the game, it's quite grueling. You'd have to be a madman to individually painstakingly list out the cards as they appear.
He had me at Madman.
Card after card, deal after deal, oxygen being pumped into the air of this casino, blinding lights, frantic noises, Luigi violently shaking like a blender filled past its capacity, his blue, lifeless eyes staring into you innocently, all while knowing a deception's being played every 10 seconds. It all makes sense why he looks back at us, wondering if we're looking at him. Luigi's Casino exists between dreams and purgatory. Is it a challenge for the damned to recover any semblance of their soul? Or is it passage into heaven?
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use this room as my
gonna
office. But the desk is over here, and so when I'm seated at the desk, this is the background. I have my therapy session, which is virtual, and I find myself looking really forward to it nowadays because I found a therapist that I really like. I had to switch a few times until I found one that I loved, but now I look forward to it a lot. So gonna hop on that, and I will catch up with y'all in like 30-45 minutes. Let's talk about therapy. I've been using BetterHelp for the last 3-ish months, and to make it more accessible and affordable for people, I think is pretty necessary. I have loved how easy it is to schedule. I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog that I went through 3 therapists until I found one that really stuck and clicked for me. And I think that's normal. Therapists are people. We are people. We have to communicate in a way that we get each other. And they made it so easy to get a new therapist and see which one fit for me. You go online and you kind of like say what you're looking for. Also, like, I prefer male, female, I prefer faith-based or not, all these types of things. And they have over 20,000 therapists online. And so you have access to some that you might not otherwise be able to meet with in your immediate area. And something else that I super appreciate is that each week I go in and I schedule my time slot for the next week. And I can also chat if I have a really quick question with my therapist, Megan. She's awesome. I love her. Over 3 million people have used BetterHelp. And so if that's something you're looking for, and if it's like, I want to try a couple therapists until I see which one fits, this is the way I recommend doing it. For me, it's fit into my life really well, and it's helped me. So thank you to BetterHelp.
Do not go to FabLetters.com. Do not take our historically low offer. 2 for 24 shorts, 1 for $24, plus the 70% off everything. That's the deal that we now cannot change because I got excited. I threw in a plus 70% off everything on a live stream. Offer went viral. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds off. It really does. Accountants are probably mad. One of them keyed my car, actually, if you want to be honest, but I just took it. Have you ever tried typing in FabLetters.com? It's difficult. Going from the S to the dot, it's a big jump. Cramps, my hand, all the time.
Anyways, I did 100 hands, and
I found shit all.
there were also some kinks. For example, what happened here? All of a sudden, Luigi's are changing to Mario.
I miss.
And when I went and looked, this was happening with a bunch of things, but more so with Luigi for some reason. This is what I could only dub the Schrodinger's Luigi. Meaning, there was a chance the card switches from Mario to Luigi, but then it goes back later in the sequence? But I realized, it's 2 cards that are next to each other in terms of value. We're talking clouds and mushrooms and Marios and Luigis. It's basic science.
I hate to bring the mood down, but what's to say that this mechanism is not designed into the game to stop the player from receiving more pairs? What if it's a bias towards Luigi's hand? What if he's rigged his own casino?
And the other problem is this still could be a sequence of numbers. The problem is the sequence could be like 10,000. So, did we learn anything? This list, other than the Schrodinger Luigis that happened, still went through the list as it should have. This means you can technically achieve 5 of a kind if you get that sort of luck.
Ah, dude. I'm gonna try and get on at Campbellsville University when I get back.
Oh, you are?
I want to go to school.
If you do that, you get free school. But you gotta wait 3 months
I know.
after your probationary period, but
And that's cool by
still
me.
it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it
Yeah.
for free schooling.
Give me time to do stuff I want to do in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to, like, this rig ain't fully complete. I want to stream
Spain.
and do stuff with it.
That'd be cool. How many people do you think's gonna start talking to you if you become a famous streamer?
Dude, I wouldn't be like a streamer probably.
But I'm saying if you became a famous streamer, how many people do you think's gonna hit you up?
A lot.
Like from around here that you haven't talked to in years?
A lot.
Oh yeah. I think that'd be funny. I could be your security. Be like, nigga, go away. But anyway, Terraria.